Hi everyone, welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. So in this video I'm going to be showing one of the Immortals activities called Corvus Expedition. So this is just a gameplay video just to show anyone out there what the Corvus Expedition is like. So this is available Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And basically the supply officer is seeking Immortals to explore the ruins of Corvus. Danger awaits, but knowledge does too. Just open for 30 minutes and you can have 8 to 30 Immortals taking part. Now doing so will get you mystery equipment, aspirant keys, experience, reinforced scrap materials and also dust. So let's go ahead and enter a Corvus raid. So we're just at the supply officer at the Hall of Ascension. Risha's created a new Corvus raid, so let's join that one. And here's the supply officer. If we click Corvus Expedition, this is the raid screen where you basically invite people into the raid until you're ready to enter. You need at least 4 players.
Ally.
So you can see the times when this is on as well on the right. There's Monday, Wednesday and Friday where you explore the ruins of Corvus. You do it one time as well each of those days. Immortals who participate in an expedition can earn aspirant keys, gold, experience and activity rating that contributes to their deeds of valor. So that's the benefit of doing Corvus and the reason you want to do Corvus, because the more you take part in this activity, it's just going to contribute to your deeds of valor. Corvus Expedition opens 3 times per week and Immortals can only participate in 1 expedition per day. The Immortals or Lieutenants can set the departure time in advance to determine when Corvus Expedition will open, and it runs for 30 minutes. At least 4 Immortals are required to form and begin the expedition, and a maximum number of Immortal participants is 30. An expedition team can always enter into or depart from an expedition in progress. So what we're going to do now is basically invite as many people as we can into this raid, and the important thing is not to try and enter early because that just annoys everyone. So the best thing to do is actually keep an eye on the raid chat just to make sure you are not supposed to enter yet. So you can hear Lord Taz is saying not yet, nobody's inside at the moment, nobody's entered. So basically don't press enter until we're all ready to go in, otherwise somebody will start the expedition early and that'll ruin it for everyone else who's trying to join that raid. So that's really important. Try not to enter and start Corvus early unless everyone's ready and you've got enough people in your raid ready to go in. So we're just going to wait for more people to enter this raid and then we're going to head into the Corvus Expedition. And whilst I'm here, I'm actually going to grab my contribution rewards. Here we go. So this is week 6 we're in. I'll just collect my rewards. Got a nice legendary gear there. Okay, we're about to enter Corvus. Once again, this is an activity only for Immortals. This is not an activity in the game which Shadows can do. This is only an Immortal activity, and yeah, basically it's worth doing so just because you're going to get the rewards and help with your contribution as well. So we're going to accept and head inside. Okay, so this is the ruins of Corvus, which we will be exploring for this expedition. It's a fairly large area, kind of reminds you of some like abandoned mines. See if we have a look over here. So the setting is quite nice actually. It's quite a sort of a very dark, creepy feel. It's got some nice ambient sort of music and sound effects as well. But this supply officer is the guy that you need to keep an eye on for Corvus, and just basically follow his lead and do whatever he tells you to do. So he's just chatting along here, and soon he's going to be ready to move forwards. We're just going to move forward with the supply officer and start this raid. So here we go, we're started. So as you can see on the left it says follow the supply officer, and he's basically saying to follow him. So let's go. And he's holding a book in his hand. And he's just talking about the architecture in this place. And as you can see, there are some people that are joining. So you can join late. You might not get all the rewards depending on how far people have got. Okay, here we go. So this is the first area. Wait for the supply officer. Okay, he's basically asking to check in areas. So gather the ancient verses. So let's open this strong box over here. And there's an ancient guardian there. Ancient verse here. Ancient verse. So this is like a collective experience. You need 2 people to open the strong box. There we go. And you collect these ancient verses. And we need 24 in total. So hopefully somebody helps me open this strong box here. You need 2 players to open this one. There we go. So it's 24 out of 24 ancient verses. And that's unlocked more of the builder's secrets. And he's going to give us a reward. There we go. So we got some aspirant keys and some loot for the first set of rewards. And the keys are obviously great for using in the Sanctum every day. Just to grab more of the gems. So you can see a lot of people know where to go. So if you join a Corvus raid, you'll see people just running straight to where you need to go. But the supply officer will be chatting as he carries on. Just talking to himself here. It is one of the most slowest and boring activities in Diablo Immortal, I must say. It's more like a tour guide of this area. Okay, the stone symbols, the builder's handiwork. Why don't a few of you approach Corvus oddments? Okay, commune with Sybil. So you basically, whoever is chosen has to commune with Sybil. It's obviously not me because I'm not chosen. There's a few people here, like the guys that have got a light above their head. They're chosen. They're the ones that have to click with the Sybil. And if you expand the screen here, it does tell you a little bit more information. Tells you how much rewards you'll get, how much gold you'll get as well. Okay, Sybil has been communed with. That's the next set of rewards. So once again, we get more keys and more scrap to build to our collection of keys. So you do get a decent amount of keys from doing Corvus. That is another good thing as well, on top of the contribution to the Immortals. Okay, so it says follow supply officer. He's not really doing much at the moment. He's just pretty much standing there. He just teleported over to the Sybil very quickly. That was a bit odd. Okay, let him do his thing. It would evaluate us like the ancients. Answer its questions quickly. The sooner we appraise it, the sooner we can... I missed that. So basically he's saying we're going to have to answer some questions now. So this is quiz time. Now, you either have to be a hardcore Diablo fan, or you have to have a cheat sheet next to you, open up Google with the answers, or basically wait until somebody who does know the answers says the answers here. The Immortal King, worshipped by all barbarians. So you've got 4 of the answers, and Bull Kathos is the right answer, so I'm going to pick that. The other choices are Rathma, who was one of the first necromancers, Kion, and Inarius. And the aim here is to try and get 100% correct. Now, what can be annoying here is if somebody tries to rush the answer without actually knowing the answer and guessing it. They'll click on the answer, what they think is the right answer, and everybody else will tag along. And then you'll get a series of people just following on like sheep and getting all the answers wrong. And that can be quite amusing at times and annoying. So just check before you do click the answer, just to make sure enough people are saying the right answer, and maybe just give it a few seconds. You may already know the answer, or you could just, like I said, have a cheat sheet, open up another tab, go onto Google, just ask the question on Google, and yeah, just make sure you answer these correctly, because if you don't answer all of them correctly, you don't get as much loot. So it's just a free opportunity to get some easy loot. This one is a nice riddle. A barbarian kills 17 warriors, a sorcerer kills 18, a necromancer raises 6 from the dead. How many corpses lie on the ground? Now, there's a way to work this one out. Obviously, it is a riddle, but the answer is 29 on this one. I do like these kind of riddles, actually. It is quite cool. But yeah, this is the only place in Diablo Immortal where it will basically be like quiz time. It's very, very different to all of the other events out there in the game. but it is very slow. It's kind of like a breather from all of the madness and chaos that goes on in Diablo Immortal. And yeah, it'll be 3 times a week. The second Immortal was named, so it's either Kion, Akaba, Daredessa, or Lidar. So once again, if you're a fan of Diablo Immortal and know the lore well, you might already know the answer and jump in with the right answer, or you'd wait until there is somebody who does know the answer and then wait until enough people say the right thing and then follow on, or as I said, you can just go and Google it. Okay, there we go. So that's quiz time complete. Even more loots that we got there. Got some more keys. So let's stay with the supply officer again and move over to the next area. Quickly done some sort of rubber banding teleport there. Let's just stay with him. But as I said, this actual area of Corvus is actually quite nice. I quite like the setting, and the ambient music is quite nice as well. But the actual gameplay does get very boring in Corvus. It's like one of the slowest, most boring activities in the game, but it's definitely worth doing. So if there's a Corvus raid Monday, Wednesday or Friday and you're an Immortal, definitely take part in this. Okay. There's another test the supply officer wants us to do here. Show your greatness, may the elements converge and bow to you. So there's a flame, cold and lightning outer which you have to activate. This is the flame one here. So all you have to do is click on it, and it basically has this link between the altar and yourself. Now other people need to basically just make a chain all the way to the end. So you can see I've clicked it. Somebody else has made another chain, and somebody else has made a chain as well, so you're just making a chain. And that's activated this altar in the middle. And you basically do that for all 3 of these. So you've got the altar of cold over there, and then you've got the altar of lightning over here. Do that 3 times, get all 3 lights on this altar, and that's basically resonance. And there's some guardians that spawn at the end. There's only 3. They're really, really easy. You defeat those guardians. And that's pretty much it. That is Corvus done. And the supply officer will still be talking at this point. Let's return home before the ceiling collapses. And as you can see here, you get some scraps and more keys. And it closes in a minute's time. So before it closes, if I just like run around here just to show everyone what the rest of the area is like and some of these edges. So this is obviously where we done the first task, this pile of gold over here. Here is the map for Corvus. And yeah, you basically just explore these ruins with a very short little story that you follow with the supply officer. And yeah, it'll close in 25 seconds, but you can just leave with this portal here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That is Corvus Expedition. And if you click on the Immortals tab and then activities over here, scroll across, you'll be able to see it over here as one of the activities. And if you click on the supply officer and click Corvus Expedition, it will say you've participated in a Corvus Expedition today. So that just confirms that you've definitely done it that day and you don't need to do it again. So now I'll just be able to do it on a Wednesday and a Friday. So that's pretty much it. That's what the Corvus Expedition is like in Diablo Immortal. Just a really quick gameplay video there. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.